Hi everyone. So I've got a foundation to review because, you know, that's pretty much all I do anymore. This is the Haus Labs by Lady Gaga shade in Fair 030 Cool 030 Fair Cool. Okay, so the label on the box kind of freaked me out because I'm like, that looks really dark. The foundation doesn't look as dark in the bottle, and I don't think in swatches either. So just for reference, I am 42 years old. I have, you know, a few lines here and there, not a ton that I'm dealing with, but a few. I have kind of acne prone-ish skin, and I have some flaking from dermatitis and whatnot, which isn't too bad as long as I prep my skin by exfoliating. And the sunscreen that I'm wearing, because I always wear some sort of SPF under makeup, this one I've just been having really good luck with. It's the Supergoop Unseen Sunscreen SPF 40, and it is water resistant, which is nice. It's one of those kind of like silicone-y, feels like it's a primer type things, and I think it does like kind of sell itself as using as a primer. Yeah, it also acts as a makeup gripping primer. So anyway, about the foundation, because that's what we're here for. Before I talk too much about it, let's just take a look at some comparison swatches, and then I'll talk about the formula and you can see me apply it on my face, etc. Okay, so this is the Haus Labs 030 Fair Cool. This is NARS, what formula is this? Natural Radiant Longwear in Siberia. This is L'Oreal, not L'Oreal, Lancome Teint Idol Ultra in 095W. This is KVD in Light 42 Neutral, which is the most pink of all these that I've swatched. That one is Makeup Forever, the HD Skin, the kind of newer release, and this is in 1N00, which I think is the lightest shade, but it doesn't seem very light. In the grand scheme of things. And this one is, I wanted to get a drugstore one in here, and so it's the L'Oreal Infallible Freshwear in 400 and 405 are really similar. I did a video comparing them, and they are more or less the same shade. So you can see this is a little bit lighter than Siberia and like the L'Oreal, but they're all kind of in the same undertone family-ish, except for the KVD. With just like varying amounts of how much like yellow there is and whatever. But I can wear all of these fine at the light to medium coverage that I use. Okay, so the color is really nice. In some pictures, like I took the first, maybe the second time I wore it, I took some pictures outside in the sunlight, and it did look a little darker than my face, but in a very natural way. My face is already darker than the rest of me because of redness, and I have a lot of freckles on my face, etc. I do prefer light to medium coverage. I'm not looking to cover my freckles. I'm just trying to even things out and kind of give a nice, it's easier for me to wear like these kinds of lipsticks if I have taken down the redness in most of my face. So that is really what I'm looking for, is just taking down the redness, evening out my skin tone, getting it a little bit closer to my neck, but I'm not looking for like perfect coverage and match, etc. Because of the redness in my face, I do find that the more yellow undertone stuff does work better for me. Plus my undertone is that kind of very like tepid, cool yellow. And this one is one of the few foundations that really I think has that kind of cooler yellow undertone. I'll insert a little product picture here of like when I went to go look at it at Sephora online. I saw those swatches and those people, and the person that was wearing this shade seemed much darker than the shades around it. But based on the little product kind of swatch they include in the picture, I'm like, maybe it will be okay. I'm not going to try the lightest shade because I don't think the undertone would be right. I'd rather go for the more yellow shade. There aren't many like good pale yellow foundations out there. I feel like that would be more helpful for me and for the people that might be interested in this video. So I was really nervous when I saw the box, but it's a good fit for sure. It's a really nice color match, and under these lights, it probably looks even better as far as matching. Things do tend to reflect a little bit lighter under these lights on camera. So it probably looks quite nice. Hopefully it doesn't look too light. That's something that definitely happens under these conditions. I'm sweating because, you know, I'm 42 and I have hot flashes. Isn't that Lovely, lovely. So I get a lot of upper lip sweat. The finish is definitely more like a natural finish, and I did set it everywhere because I like to be able to lay my head on a pillow and not be too worried about the makeup transferring a bunch. So that's why, even though my cheeks are fairly dry, I do tend to set stuff, especially here. And if I'm wearing a mask too, I don't want a bunch of like makeup kind of gunking up the mask. And if you weren't worried about that, if I wasn't worried about that, I think I could get away with not setting the drier parts of my face just because it does seem to set down somewhat. It doesn't fully set down. Like I did some swatches on my hand and took a picture out in the sunlight. And so they had been on my hand for probably 15, 20 minutes. I had more matte foundations next to them. They were all dry and that one was still fully wet. So I feel like it does set a little, but it's not going to be setting down like a matte foundation would. And I just think it's a little bit easier when you have drier skin, more textured skin. Like as you get older, you know, your skin just gets kind of like looser. Isn't that nice? And I feel like a little bit more of a natural finish definitely is easier to work with in that situation. Matte foundations sometimes really accentuate that. And what else? What else? I do find it wears really nicely throughout the day. The only issue I have had is around my chin, and it will get a little polka dotted a little bit on my chin. I'm going to see if I can find a powder base combo that will work so that it doesn't do that. That is the perennial problem I've also had with NARS foundations. And I've never really had a NARS foundation not do that on me. But other formulas don't do that. So it's really especially annoying when I have a good like color that I would like to wear, but then it does funny things on my face by the end of the day. Granted, I'm looking at it like 8 to 10 hours after I applied it, but I do expect my foundation to not look weird and patchy. It sits nicely on dry patches, and I can apply it with my hands and it looks nice, and I can apply it with a sponge and it looks even better, I think. I think it looks beautiful when it's applied with a sponge. I do have like this flaky, scabby situation right here, and it really went over that without too much trouble. Like, anytime you have like full-on scabby, flaky spots, no foundation, no product in the world that has color to it is going to sit very well on it. But I feel like it did go over it nicely, and it didn't catch in a way that a lot of concealer and foundation tends to catch on those like really unpleasant skin situations. Does it have a scent? I don't know. Did I just get foundation on my nose? I don't know. It says it's a clean, cutting-edge, long-wear foundation that delivers superior makeup performance without compromising your skin. Infused with 20-plus skincare ingredients, buildable medium coverage, luminous second skin finish, ultra-fluid, weightless formula. I did only use one pump and applied it with a sponge, and I had a little bit left over, so that's always nice. And it wasn't much product that comes out in one pump, so I'm on board with that, like, liquid, what did they call it? Ultra-fluid. Overall, I think that the shade range is good. I appreciate that there's another pale yellow option out there, though I do wish they would change their product picture because that person looks way darker than everybody else in the like surrounding shades. And clearly it's not that dark. Like I don't have that much color in my skin. So, yeah, a little frustrating to buy. Oh, and Sephora. I don't know what's going on with their little shade finder tool for this product. When I bought it, at least, it was so completely bonkers off. It was recommending the most strange shades. And I tried a whole bunch of different foundations that I know work on my face. I know that are pale. And like just either it couldn't find a match or it found something like way too dark or wrong undertone. It was just all over the place. So hopefully Sephora has updated the little shade finder thing. I'll put a little blurb somewhere if I see that it's actually working in a way that I would expect. We'll see. Anyway, yeah, so that's kind of my thoughts on this. Let me know if you've tried it, if you have any questions, like what colors you've tried, etc. I would say let me know if you have any other foundations you want me to take a look at, but honestly, it's just not my thing anymore, and it's expensive to do and time consuming, etc., etc. So I only really do it when I feel like it. Anyway, thank you for taking the time to watch this. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you soon.